everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I posted my last video. Life has been pretty hectic. I just moved recently from one city back home, and pretty much my life has been getting a job, potentially getting a second job. We'll see how my life goes for the next little bit. But I did want to make this video, and this is going to be my first anti-haul. If you haven't been to my channel before, definitely I suggest clicking the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the little bell so that you know that you're getting notifications. And yeah, so this is the first time I've ever done one of these. And I'm going to include a couple of things. First and foremost, what I'm not going to buy is going to be the Pirates of the Caribbean Lorac collection. I've seen a lot of people saying that they're not going to buy it. My big thing is that I've bought so many eyeshadow palettes over the past year that I really feel like I have so many colors that it doesn't add anything to what I already have, and I just don't see the point. I mean, the movie, it's a sixth movie? The fifth movie? Don't get me wrong, I love Johnny Depp, but I've lost interest in the series, and I think it's just strange that they came out with this makeup collection. Now, I could be wrong, but I think what would have been really cool if they wanted to capitalize on that would have been maybe like a compass mirror or something like that. I mean, that would have been interesting. But to have eyeshadow and it just, I don't know, it just didn't really appeal to me. The price point's kind of high too. And every once in a while when they do a movie release, I find the products that come out aren't very good. The last Alice in Wonderland palette that came out, for example, from Urban Decay, I like it. I like that I got it on sale. It's not something I reach for all the time. It does have some really eccentric looks that you can do, which I love, but I don't think it's an everyday palette. I don't use it very often. So again, Pirates of the Caribbean, just no. Another thing I'm not going to buy is the Tarte unicorn brushes. Now, I do need to invest in another set of brushes, but the Tarte unicorn brushes just don't appeal to me. I've seen a lot of reviews, and they're cute, don't get me wrong, they're cute, but to have as a display item doesn't really appeal to me. You know, if I want something just as a display item, it's going to have to work for me too. I don't want it to just, oh, it's pretty. Mind you, this being said, I have a lot of collectibles, but you know, it's supposed to be a makeup brush, and I've heard that the first time you wash them, either the hairs fall out or the color comes off. I mean, what is that? Tarte, from what I've bought from them, is a pretty good company for the most part. So the fact that these just don't come up to snuff it's questionable. Anyways, I feel like it was rushed. Like the unicorn palette, I have it. I haven't used it a lot. I'm going to talk about that in a different video, but I haven't given it a fair chance yet, so I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm also not going to buy anything from Kylie Cosmetics. I don't really follow the Kardashians. It's not something that I really have an interest in. My grandmother, she liked the TV show, but that's all I ever heard from it was about the TV show. I've seen a lot of people talk about Kylie Cosmetics, and I know that their customer service apparently sucks. I work in customer service. That's the staple of your brand, you know? If something goes wrong, how do you handle it? If you don't handle it well, why are people going to buy from you? I don't find them that appealing. Plus, it's not sold in a store anywhere. I'm Canadian. I don't want to have to trek over Hell's Acre to go get it or order it online, and then chances are I'm going to pay duty fees. That happens every once in a while. I don't know if that's the situation for Canadians, but you know, it's just not something I'm going to buy, and I find they're a little overpriced. I mean, I bought overpriced things, then you smack yourself and you say, why did I do that? But it's one of those things I just don't really have an interest in. They seem really inconsistent, and I don't have any interest in any of that inconsistency, so there's that. There's also the new Urban Decay collection, Basquiat. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it or the correct term for it, but it's the one that looks like all the graffiti art. I did test out the eyeliners when I went to my local Shoppers, but Don't get me wrong, the eyeliner was okay. I mean, I still have it. It didn't want to leave my hand, actually, which is good. The blue was really pigmented and is still on my hand. I mean, it's faded, but you can even just that faded line. The green was kind of gross looking for my skin tone. I didn't like it. But I already have a blue eyeliner, so what's the point? I just didn't find the colors that creative, and I've been really hit and miss with Urban Decay because I bought the Moondust palette, I returned it, I didn't like it. I thought it would have been great for people who love glitter. I have one little tiny thing of glitter and I'm fine with it. But they weren't super pigmented, and even to put them over eyeshadows, you didn't really get a lot of payoff. I know these are just my personal opinions. You know, it could have worked great for other people. It just didn't work for me and it wasn't what I wanted. It was because my first Urban Decay palette was the electric palette. That palette is so pigmented that it's blown everything out of the water for me in terms of that much pigmentation. So to buy the Moondust palette and get barely any payoff or pigment was really disappointing, especially for the price point. I don't know, just lately the couple of the collections haven't been what I'm interested in. And obviously, you know, that's different for everybody. Next, we move on to TooFaced. I'm not going to be buying their Love Light Prismatic highlighter. I tested it in store at Sephora when I lived in an area that had one, and I just wasn't that impressed. I have, like, my Becca highlighter is much more pigmented than the TooFaced, and I'm sure it was probably more, but I've had it for over a year. So I didn't see why I was going to spend $30 on a highlighter that was so subtle compared to the one I already have. And I don't know, I like blinding highlight, and even then I'm so pale that a lot of the time I find even the whitest of highlights still just kind of looks like it blends in with my skin. What else is there? Storybook Cosmetics. I eventually want to try their brushes, but I will not be buying their eyeshadow palette. I just don't think it's that original and creative. I mean, I get that you're appealing to not comic book fans. It's a good idea, though. I mean, we should capitalize on that. But it's appealing to Harry Potter fans, stuff like that. And I mean, I love Harry Potter, but I'm not going to buy a palette that has things that I already have again. So, I mean, it could be great for people, but I just think that unless I was someone who didn't have a lot of eyeshadow and needed brushes too, I do like a double order, but I don't see the point. I mean, maybe they're great. Is the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip kit. I have lip liner and I have a ton of lipstick and lip gloss and liquid lip. I'm pretty much all lipped out at this point, unless it's a super amazing, totally different color. Yeah, and that's about it for this anti-haul. I know I rambled a bit, and I do apologize. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I probably will do another one of these progressively. I know some of the products are a little older, but I've been meaning to get a video up, and it's been taking forever, like I said. I hope to hear back from you guys, and if you find that any of the products that I did mention that I've heard naysayers about, you know, let me know if maybe the perception is wrong, or if it works for, you know, pale skin or things like that, because I'd love to hear about it. Alright, catch you guys some other time.